What's going on, everyone? Zach here from Ghoul School, where we dive into all things creepy and cool, and today we're taking a look at Ramses the Mummy by Composite Effects. So Ramses here is a pretty cool mask and pretty versatile as well. Not only does he have that kind of iconic mummy look to him, but he could also be used for, let's say, I don't know, in 1980s style Skeletor cosplay. Pretty cool. And again, as I've stated in so many videos before, he's from Composite Effects or CFX, so you know the quality of this mask is going to be second to none. With those things being said, let's move on to some pros and cons of this mask. Moving on into the pros, the first one I'd like to point out, and I think it's probably pretty overlooked with this mask, is something so subtle, and again, it's really looked over by a lot of people, and that's just how simple this mask is. And that's not a bad thing. Simplicity of this mask went a really long way. I've seen a lot of mummy masks that just, I don't even know what to say. I mean, they kind of go overboard, try to over wrinkle, over texture, and it just ends up looking bad. But with Ramses here, the sculpture, the paint job, everything is so toned down and so simple, and it just works. I mean, it's beautifully executed. And yes, though I'm saying it's simple, don't get me wrong, the sculpture is absolutely stunning. I mean, the wrinkling, the bone structure, the inset in the neck, the ribs, I mean, everything about this is beautiful. One thing that I personally found pretty cool that, for whatever reason, I've seen a lot of mummy masks that still have ears. Don't know what that's about. But CFX went ahead and lobbed the ears off, and they just left kind of these ear canal type areas here, which is awesome. And it also allows for pretty good hearing while you're inside of this thing, which is super important while you're in these silicone masks. Can't tell you how many times I've worn one of these and the hearing is either not cut out or the holes aren't big enough, and it just, for someone that's minorly claustrophobic, having that muffled hearing really kind of throws you off. But with this, that's absolutely no problem. Super cool, super easy to hear out of. But continuing with the sculpt, down the spine, you have what looks like kind of, I want to say curdling, but I know that's not the right word. Almost like beef jerky type flesh back here. And that's only showing off the raised spinal column that much more. But like I said, the sculpture is so simply complex, and the paint job as well is just so simple that it makes it complex. I know I'm not making much sense, but I mean, it is. It's just so simple that it works, and it tricks your mind into thinking there's more there. And for this mask, I think that was the right choice. As I said before, a lot of mummy masks just go over the top, and it ends up looking really bad because they just try to throw too much detail into a mummy rather than focusing on just the overall character concept. And I think that's something that CFX nailed in this mask. But let's move on to some of the cons. So con number one that I've found, and this is not going to go for everyone, this is for me personally, because I do have a bit bigger of a head. When he's on his display stand, this guy looks awesome. He looks emaciated. He kind of looks elongated. It really works for the character of a mummy. But for me, someone that's got a bit bigger of a head, because there's not a whole lot of over-the-top detail to hide it, when I put this thing on, it kind of expands out, making me look like a ballooned mummy. I mean, it is what it is. It's not terrible. It's me just nitpicking. But it is a con to think about if you're someone like me that has a larger head. And last time I measured it, I think I'm at the max circumference for CFX masks. Don't quote me on it, but I want to say it's like 24 inches, something like that. 23.5, something. I don't know. I've got a huge head. Other than that, though, guys, there's not a whole lot of cons. Like I said, the simplicity of this mask really works for it. The fact that it's so dull color palette, again, really works for it. The only thing I could really say, and I'm sure you can tell in this video, is if you go with this paint variant and you're in a haunt or a movie, anything like that, as you can see from my light over here, bouncing against this, it's kind of blowing it out. So that's one thing to consider, but chances are you're not going to be in as harsh of light as what I have going on here in the studio. And those are really the only cons I have. So let's go to a movement video. As you saw in the movement video, this guy has some crazy realistic movement, and if I'm being honest, this one probably has some of the best lip cupping I've ever encountered in a silicone mask. I don't know if it's the sculpture or if just how this one personally fits me really meshed with me. It just really works. Talking in it, the mouth and lips move with you. Again, because of being such a simple mask, when you turn your head side to side, it really shows off the movement and your eyes aren't drawn, to other weird little details. You really get to focus strictly on the mask, and I think that's really cool. So, as I said before, yes, it's a simpler mask, not a whole lot going on with the paint, not a whole lot going on with the sculpture, but I think that plays to an important part as a pro and a win for this mask. Alright guys, so if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're notified anytime Ghoul School comes out with a new video, where we stay on top of all things creepy and cool. But until next time, stay creepy.